Today on the Checkr Check-In, I'm going to show you how to minimize your legal risk when you decline candidates based on information in their background report. Let's say that you've completed a background check and you find something on the report that could disqualify the candidate from employment. What do you do here? The choice you make and the process you follow could create substantial legal exposure for your company. So let's take a timeout for a quick coffee talk. In September 2017, Starbucks faced a class action with damages between $100 and $1,000 per class member, potentially affecting its 25,000 locations. That'll cost a lot more than your morning cup of joe. So what happened? Starbucks made a conditional employment offer to a candidate in Georgia, then declined him based on the criminal record of an applicant with a similar name in Minnesota, a state where the candidate never lived. This candidate allegedly never got a chance to correct the record and only received a copy of his report after being declined. If this could happen to Starbucks, can it happen to you? The legal risk comes from what's called an adverse action. In other words, any action you take that can adversely affect a candidate, like declining to hire or promote them. As an employer or contractee, you have an obligation under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA, to provide a copy of the background check and a notification to the candidate before declining to hire or promote them, so they can dispute inaccuracies or give you more context. If that sounds complicated, there's a basic process you can put in place. Step 1. If you plan to take adverse action, send a pre-adverse action notice to the candidate with a copy of their background check report and a summary of their rights under the FCRA. Basically, this tells them that you intend not to move forward with hiring them, based on the information in their report. Step 2. Provide a waiting period of at least 5 business days. This gives the candidate a chance to dispute the information on the report. And Step 3. If the candidate hasn't provided additional information during the waiting period, only then should you send an adverse action notice. Follow these steps and you'll steer clear of one of the major litigation risks surrounding background checks. Does that sound like a lot to do? Luckily, Checkr makes this process simple for you. If you plan to decline a candidate, click Pre-Adverse Action on their report. Choose all of the charges that disqualify the candidate from employment. By default, we provide 7 days for the waiting period. Some jurisdictions require longer waiting periods, so you can increase it yourself. Then you'll see a preview of the email that will be sent, including attachments like a copy of the background report and all of the necessary federal and state attachments. Does that look right? Go ahead and send it. If the candidate doesn't dispute the decision during the waiting period, then Checkr will automatically send the adverse action notice letting them know that you won't be moving forward. If they do dispute it with Checkr, we'll conduct a reinvestigation within the next 30 days. You'll see them in the dispute status on the dashboard. If they reach out to you to clarify the record, or you decide for any other reason that you want to hire them, you can cancel the adverse action, even if the candidate didn't open a dispute. Don't worry, you'll see an audit log of each decision you made throughout the process. Go ahead and engage the candidate. Be sure to click the Engage button so you can see reporting on the candidates you engage in Checkr's analytics tool. Keep your adverse action process running smoothly by searching for candidates in the Adverse Action section of the dashboard, where you can see where candidates are in the adverse action process. So next time you have that morning coffee, enjoy it with the peace of mind that you're staying compliant and giving candidates a fair evaluation with a solid adverse action process. That's all for the Checkr Check-In. Happy hiring!